Let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
That any team can, in theory, beat any other team. So it doesn't surprise me that teams go through this downtime. Now, you talked about Forest, we talked about Leicester. Now, they've lost now. I think they've lost the last 6 games. Now, they weren't terrible. They weren't a terrible team last night by any means, but I think this gets into players' heads that they're on a downswing, that they got no winning momentum, and you get into a habit of losing. You get almost a losing momentum. So I think, like many sports, it is very much, a lot of it's played in the head, in the mind, the confidence, and you could see it last night when Crystal Palace got the first goal. The whole team began to play with more efficiency, more energy. Incredible the difference in energy you see when a team has scored a goal. And then when we get the second goal, even more so, they start to dominate the game altogether. Nottingham Forest, it's incredible. They're almost, you could mention them in the same breath as Leicester, who won the Premier League in 2016. I mean, I don't think Forest are going to do it. We do see Liverpool and Arsenal faltering a bit here and there, but Forest seem to be maintaining their great form. It's also interesting because their manager is Nuno, that's his name, and of course he was at Spurs before they got their current manager, and they're doing pretty badly, Spurs. I mean, they lost again last night, didn't they, to Arsenal. And whether they will keep their manager, Ange Postecoglou, I think his name is another matter. But the interesting thing is Nuno was fired there, having not been there very long at Tottenham, going back a season or so. But then you see Tottenham didn't want to play, and they don't want to play a centre forward. You pump the ball up to the centre forward like Forest play under Nuno, with Wood, very good centre forward, a typical, almost old school type bludgeoning centre forward, and he's scoring a lot of goals as well in the process. And that seems to be what they are succeeding with, a style of play in a way that was almost abandoned going as the football develops and the tactics and so on, abandoned some years ago. You tend not to get a traditional bustling centre forward these days, but I think Nuno is playing his team to their strengths, and he's showing that style of football can do very well. And I suspect as the season goes on and as the next few seasons come, other managers may think, hang on a minute, we might go back to that, having that centre forward up there who's going to get crosses coming. You need the crosses to come in to service, his ability to score goals. And it can work if you've got the players to do it. So I think that's one of the things behind this Forest success, that they're playing in a different way to how most teams play. And frankly, whether it's Liverpool or anybody else, they can't quite get used to playing against this big bludgeoning centre forward. I mean, Wood has been around quite a few years, but he's a really good target man. He knows how to hold the play up and so on, and he's being fed the great crosses, which is why they're getting these very good results. And obviously it's not a one-man team. They've got some good, very hard-working players around them. But a manager like Nuno shows that you can be very successful at one club, but not necessarily at another, like at Tottenham. They didn't want to play that way. That's not the style of most teams, is it? So, yeah, all credit to them, because it again reflects this great game that it's a thinking person's game. Managers have to play. In many ways, it's like chess, isn't it? We've probably said this before, but a football game is very much like chess. You're trying to find a way forward to attack the defences of the other team. And anyone who plays chess will know that it's a game of total strategy. Do you play chess, Cuz?
I'm very rubbish at it.
You do what?
I am rubbish at it.
You do play then?
I do, but I lose all the time. So,
Well, so when we meet next, I must remind you to give me a game because I play chess, and
all right.
if you lose that easily, I'll give you a game definitely. But no, I think chess is a wonderful game. I used to at school. I used to play pretty much every lunchtime.
All right.
And yeah, I think chess is a game of strategy.
Yeah.
And we talked about focusing on things earlier, but to lose yourself in a game of chess is brilliant, actually, because you push everything else out of your mind and you're just strategizing, I suppose is the word.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's stick with football, but it is a kind of a version of chess, and which is what makes it fascinating. It's quite good to see a game of football being played, whether on TV or in the flesh, and see it with fresh eyes. You see, don't take it all so for granted because we've seen it 1,000 times. But actually, these guys out there, or girls, women, men, they got this round ball of leather or plastic, whatever it's made of nowadays, and they're all. One team is desperately trying to get that ball through the defences of the other team and into this net at the end. It's a very simplistic, brilliantly simple idea that I think the British came up with originally years and years ago. The beautiful game, and it's clever because it's not just hit and rush. You have this thing called offside, which actually makes it the brilliant game that it is. It's frustrating to supporters when a goal we score is offside, but it has to be there. The timing of a run, a player needs to know when to make that run to receive a great pass. But offside makes the game as exciting and tantalising as it is. But otherwise, it's the beautiful game, the simple game, and you see it with fresh eyes. And you see 22 players all really revolving around this one ball and getting into positions where they can receive a pass or they want to tackle somebody. See it with fresh eyes once in a while and you realise what an incredible game it is to actually watch and, for that matter, to play. It's a great game to play. So yeah, the beautiful game. And it's a tough game for the top elite professional players. They've got to be absolutely fit. I mean, when you get two teams, and let's take the Premier League, whatever the difference in ability levels, they're all pretty elite footballers, elite athletes. They have to be at that level. And you see one team and the other team, and they're sort of grinding.
Soft family and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday. So join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom